Melissa bought me a Solo Stove Yukon for Christmas back in 2019, and in the 6 years that followed, we've covered nearly everything new that Solo Stove has brought to market. From fire pits to pizza ovens, grills, and griddles, we've brought you over a dozen videos testing these products. This fall, Solo Stove has reimagined its smokeless fire pits and released the brand new Summit. In this video, we're going to explore what's different about this design and see how it compares to the rest of the Solo Stove family of fire pits. I'm David Gafford, and here at the Barbecue Lab, we test over 100 different outdoor cooking and outdoor living appliances every year so you can make educated decisions with your outdoor cooking and living budgets. Now, this is the Solo Stove Summit. Right away, we notice the first difference in this new model. It includes a built-in stand. Even with the stand, this fire pit is significantly shorter than we've seen in previous models. The height of the Summit is only 15 inches with a diameter of 24 inches. That puts the Summit right between the Bonfire and the Yukon in size. The Bonfire has a diameter of 19.5 inches, and the Yukon measures 27 inches. Both have a significantly taller profile than the Summit, with the Bonfire measuring 17.5 inches and the Yukon coming in just shy of 20 inches, both without a stand. I'm curious if the lower profile of the Summit will impact the radiant heat distribution. We'll have to put that to the test here in just a little bit. Because this is a new fire pit diameter for Solo Stove, they're currently working on releasing a new lineup of accessories for the Summit, including the heat deflector, surround, lid, and the shield. Those should be available soon. If you want to check out any of this gear, we have links down in the description below for you. We know that pricing is always changing with the world of tariffs as it is right now, but to see the current pricing, just click those links down in the description below, and you'll also find some discount codes for Solo Stove. The next major difference that we see in the Summit is the burn chamber. Solo Stove has designed their Summit to be their easiest fire pit to use ever. And inside, we find a bunt pan looking feature they call the Quick Strike Cone. So I guess it's time to go ahead and light this fire pit up and see how this new system works. And I'll set a stopwatch to see how long it takes us to achieve a full smokeless burn. All right, here we are with the Summit. We have Melissa, who has some of the wood from the Solo Stove box that came in the mail. And you're gonna go ahead and start the fire down here. How are we building this fire?
We are going to stack the wood close to the cone in a couple of layers.
But do we want to go high enough that it gets above the cone, or do we want to go high enough it gets above the ring? How high do we want to get with it?
Above the cone, but below the ring is what Solo Stove's recommendation is.
All right, well, that looks like above the cone, but below the ring to me. All right, so what do you have there?
We have the fire starter gel from Solo Stove that we are going to rip open and pour on top of the cone.
Now it has a tear tab, but you want to use some scissors, right?
I want to make sure I get it low enough.
All right, so you're going to pour this right on the cone, and it's going to go down into the reservoirs, right?
Mm-hmm. And you're supposed to use a whole packet for each fire.
I can already see down there that reservoir has some lighter fluid in it, for sure. And then it says use a long neck lighter, which we don't have, right?
Nope. We're short necking it today. There it is. Okay, we're going to set a timer now to see how long it takes to get this fire pit up to a roaring fire.
All right, Melissa, it's been 5 minutes. We have a fire that is pretty steadily going here. Tell me, how easy was it to light this fire pit?
Yeah, it was pretty simple. I mean, normally we have to split wood into tiny little splits for it to be able to light when we're lighting any of the other Solo Stove for any wood burning fire pit. But this was really simple. We didn't have to cut the splits down smaller, just poured the gel down and it it ignited. I would, however, recommend a longer neck lighter. That was a little exciting for me today, but other than that, it was pretty easy.
In just a minute, we're going to compare the radiant heat of the Summit to the Bonfire and the Yukon, but first I want to pass a question off to you. What do you think about this new way of lighting a wood-burning fire pit? If you're still using a gas fire pit for the ease, does this new system simplify the lighting process enough for you to consider making the switch to wood? Let me know down in the comments below, and let's keep the conversation going. During an event here at the lab this week, we lit up the Summit, Bonfire, and Yukon fire pits and attempted to show the differences in heat distribution. Melissa sat in a chair placed exactly 40 inches from each fire pit exterior during a full secondary burn. However, it appears that the only thing we really demonstrated is that we'll need a more advanced FLIR camera to really pull this test off. So instead, I'll ask my smokeless hot wife, Melissa, to share her experience.
We tested the Yukon first, and I'll just say that sitting 40 inches away during a full blaze was a very hot experience. Most of the heat was felt from my knees up, but I was able to sense some heat on my shins as well. The Bonfire was next, and there was a very noticeable drop in heat felt from that fire. It wasn't necessarily a cool night, maybe 70 degrees or so, but I would describe the radiant heat as very subtle, even up higher near my face. We tested the Summit last, where a group of our guests was already enjoying the fire. I would probably compare the heat I felt here to what I experienced at the Yukon. It was definitely noticeable, and I felt it all the way down to my shins. A couple of our guests were already Solo Stove owners, and they both remarked that the heat that they were feeling was comparable to what they get using a deflector on their own fire pits.
By the way, if you're getting value out of this video, hit the like button and subscribe if you want more videos just like this.
All right, so it's the next morning. We had a fire last night with a bunch of people, and unfortunately it rained overnight. So what you see here is probably more worst case scenario, what we're dealing with. To clean this up, we're going to just use some gloves and sweep the ash with our gloved hand kind of away from the edge a little bit. And then I'm gonna pick up this centerpiece and I'm gonna dump that into the ash pan below. Next, I can go ahead and lift the ash pan out, and then I can either try to funnel it into our ash can, or I can chuck it in the woods. And one of the nice things about being out here in the woods is that we can just do that. Just want to point out that this is definitely fully cooled ash. It's wet ash. It's been rained on, so there's no risk of starting a forest fire here. Done.
As with all Solo Stove fire pits, the Summit comes with a lifetime warranty. We have never had to make a warranty claim ourselves, but we've seen countless reports online of Solo Stove making good on their warranty for others. How about you? Have you ever had to make a warranty claim on a Solo Stove product? Let us know how that went for you by helping the community out. Let us know all of that down in the comments below. All in all, I think the Summit is a really interesting addition to the Solo Stove lineup. It's currently priced at $599, which puts it $50 over the slightly larger Yukon and stand bundle, but with the added ease of lighting, perhaps many will find it worth it. I think there are generally two major reasons why people stick with a gas fire pit rather than wood. The first being that they don't want to deal with the smoke. In my experience, as long as you follow the guidelines for smokeless fire pits, meaning that you're using dry seasoned wood, keeping the wood below the rim, and keeping the fire fed and burning hot, there is very minimal smoke with this style of fire pit. Second, another reason people avoid wood-burning fire pits is that they don't want to take the time and effort to light a wood fire. Gas fire pits are just too easy to light up and turn off. Solo Stove definitely simplified the lighting process with this new Summit. It still has to die out and cool down naturally, but the time and effort it takes to achieve a fire has greatly improved. Is it enough to make you convert from gas to wood? I've yet to find a gas fire pit that even comes close to comparing with the beautiful ambiance of a wood fire. There aren't very many things that are more mesmerizing than watching a secondary burn on a cool autumn night. However, if you think a different size solo stove might be a better fit for your needs, you might want to check out this next video where we compared the Bonfire, Yukon, and the Canyon fire pits. You can find that link up here or down in the description below. I'm David from the Barbecue Lab. Behind the FLIR camera is Melissa. Thanks for checking out this video. Hit like if you got value, and we can't wait to see you on the next one.